As we look at the two quarterbacks in this matchup, fireworks could be in store for Thursday night. First off, you have Joe Burrow going against the Dolphins team who is giving up the second most passing yards per game in 2022. On the other hand, we have a breakout quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa, who is having a career year throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I can see a back and forth type of matchup between these two, seeing big play after big play. Over 100 points could be scored in this matchup, and I wouldn't even be shocked. I have Joe Burrow as a start and Tua Tagovailoa as a start in a matchup where you should see fantasy points flying everywhere. This is an exciting matchup between two young gun quarterbacks under national coverage. It should be a good one. Now, as far as the running backs go, we need to talk about Joe Mixon, Chase Edmonds, and Raheem Mostert. Joe Mixon has been struggling as of late, but I tell people all the time, start your studs. Fantasy players go through ups and downs, but in week 4, you don't need to be sitting the players you drafted in the first round. Stay the course and keep Mixon in your lineup. The Dolphins have allowed the 13th most rushing yards a game, so there's going to be room to run for Mixon. On the other hand, you have Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert. You simply cannot feel good about starting either running back in week 4. This is a true shared backfield and not one back is carrying the majority of the workload. Since they're splitting reps, they both are poor fantasy producers. I have Joe Mixon as a start, Chase Edmonds as a sit, as well as Raheem Mostert as a sit. Mixon seems like he's in a good situation as the only back, and Edmonds and Mostert are fighting each other for reps. Save yourself a headache and fade the Miami backfield. Now let's look at the wide receivers in this matchup. Starting on the Bengals side, we have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. I'm looking for Joe Burrow to have a big week against the undefeated Dolphins. Joe Burrow wants to make his mark that he is the better quarterback and will play his behind off. With that being said, look for plenty of looks towards Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. These receivers should be able to eat and put up solid fantasy stat lines in this matchup. Now we move to the Dolphins wide receivers with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Tyreek Hill has been an amazing addition for Tua. With the speed of Hill and Waddle, these receivers are extremely difficult to stop. These two are a big reason why the Miami Dolphins are undefeated. Look for both Hill and Waddle to continue their dominance in this matchup against the Bengals. I have Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and T. Higgins as a start, and Tyler Boyd as a sit. Since I'm so high on Burrow and Tua, it's only right that his receivers are as high on my list. I love the receiving options in this matchup. I have Tyler Boyd as a sit because he had a blow-up game last week, which makes me think that he will have a back seat this week to both Chase and Higgins. The Bengals offense is not the Tyler Boyd show. He will have a couple of great weeks, but the majority of the time we're going to see Chase and Higgins going bananas, not Boyd. Lastly, let's look at the tight end position and talk about Hayden Hurst and Mike Gesicki. Hurst had a down week last week, but he was kind of used as a security blanket for Burrow within the first 2 weeks. Having such a bad pass defense in the Dolphins, I see Hurst getting back in the saddle and being able to be a serviceable option this week into your lineups. On the other side, Gesicki's going to need to show me that he can have some type of consistency and be a valid option in this offense. Right now, it really just is Hill and Waddle. Everything else and everybody else kind of just gets the scraps. Now I have Hayden Hurst as a start and Mike Gesicki as a sit. Now I don't see either one of these tight ends being a game changer type of player at the tight end position this week, but I do see Hayden Hurst having a game for 8 to 10 fantasy points and being just good enough to start. If you're in a pinch, Hurst will be serviceable.